Live music is on the up. The scene is alive. We are told the national live music scene is on the up. With popularity booming, live music attendance is the highest it has been for decades, yet venues are still closing their doors and losing their licences. In this documentary, we will have a look at the music scene in Portsmouth. Like the rest of the UK, it is flourishing, and we're going to look at the people involved in the scene and the many local festivals that help make the hive that it is. We sat down with Ethan Owen to talk Loco Fest.
Loco Fest is a festival with a mix of up-and-coming bands around the south coast and a few decent names, known names about. Spaced over 6 venues, so we've got during the day a free gig at a bandstand with a little bit of a reggae ska vibe to it. A few DJs down there, and then we've got the Wedge Rooms, Edge of the Wedge, Royal Albert, Shack Bar and the Loft above King's Pub. At the moment it's still kind of early days and it's still quite new, so we're just doing everything we can to promote it to everyone at the moment. I think it can be a battle throughout the year, and it depends what sort of venues. Like, you've got DJing pretty much every other bar around Southsea on every Friday and Saturday night, where you won't so much have that for local live bands and stuff. It's very limited where a band can play around here, especially with the whole thing with a lot of music venues shutting down around the UK and stuff. It is becoming a bit more harder for the local bands to actually get out and play, which is one of the reasons why we want to get this festival running as well, giving live acts an opportunity to actually play venues that they wouldn't get to play before. Yeah, I do a little bit of work for Victorious. I help run the silent disco stage with one of the well-known DJs around here called DJ Lemon or Carwood. So I think it's stronger than ever because, like, well, the likes of Victorious and Icebreaker, they've really helped out with the live music scene around here. Before Victorious and Icebreaker sort of came about, it was quite hard to get a show about here. You know, the sort of the Wedge Rooms were the only place offering, and it was very hard for every band to be able to get a chance to play that. Ever since Victorious, you've got Nick Courtney doing the Victorious sessions at Little Johnny Russell's every Thursday and every other Tuesday, which is giving pretty much every artist, anyone who wants to get up and play, even if they've only written 2 songs, you know, they've got the opportunity to get up and play in front of a couple of people. And it's definitely become a lot stronger ever since these festivals.
After speaking with Ethan, Victorious Festival was mentioned as a key factor in the strength of the scene, as well as the promoter Nick Courtney. We met up with him in his record shop, Sweet Memory Records, to talk Victorious, as well as the up-and-coming talent in Portsmouth.
Hi, my name is Nick Courtney. I own Sweet Memories Record Shop in Portsmouth, and I'm also a music promoter. I'm involved with Victorious Festival, Portsmouth Beer Festival, Portsmouth Summer Show, Southsea Bandstand, Little Johnny Russell's, Jags at 119. That's roughly it, I think. I like them all. I like all the ones I work at, to be honest. Little Johnny Russell's is obviously my regular night because I do every Thursday and every other Tuesday. But Jags on a Sunday, Jags at 119 and Elm Grove on a Sunday, just taken off really well as well. So they're both great venues. Yeah, there's several different stages, and my job is to book everything below the headliners. There's various ways of submission. Number 1, I can walk in a pub and see something I really like. Number 2, they can play at the venues which, on the nights that I run, which is, as I say, Jags 119 and Little Johnny Russell's. The Little Johnny Russell's nights are unofficial auditions. So again, if we see something I really like, then it gets put in the folder for either this year or next year. And also there is an online submission process where they can go to the victoriousfestival.co.uk website and apply to play with submitting recordings, and I actually go through each one of those as well, paying attention mainly to live recordings rather than studio. 2 main stages of headliners and supports, and everything else really is either local or outside the city unsigned. I don't know really. I've been doing live music since 1980. There's always been a live music scene, but what the main change is live music has become more mainstream than it has ever been before. consequently it's caused a much bigger scene than there has been for quite a while. Where people used to go to nightclubs, and some people went to see, a few people went to see live bands and most people went to nightclubs, now that's changed around and a lot of people will go and see live bands as opposed to going to a nightclub, and that's the first time I've seen that for a long time. But yeah, the main thing that changed it all was when they changed the law a few years back, when the businesses, pubs below a certain capacity no longer needed an entertainment's licence, which meant any small pub could become a live music venue without having to pay over £1,000 in licence fees. So that's what caused the biggest change. Everyone thought it was going to end live music and actually made it far, far better. Unsigned artists, the big two of course is Jerry Williams and Assassin's Street. There's many younger ones coming through like Devon Jade, Marley Blandford of course. There's a lot of younger artists coming through who are going to be quite exciting for the future. And there's a lot of brilliant artists in Portsmouth, but yeah, the ones that are closest to actually achieving their main objective, I'd say, would be Assassin's Street and Jerry Williams.
After hearing from management of Victorious, we wanted to speak to some of the talent in the scene. We spoke to Harry Tremlett from Blackfoot Circle and On The Deck Media.
Well, I started in college, and the scene was like, obviously I just got into it quite quickly at bands at college and gigging pubs and all sorts, but I'd say the scene's as good as it's ever been, if not better. Like when I first started in college, it was sort of a limited number of bands, and it was hard to find good bands here. But now, when you look at the Wedge and Pyramids, like it's kind of hard to go a week or a month without seeing like really good bands somewhere, whether they're massive bands from across like the globe or if they're from Pompey. We've got amazing bands here. We've got bands like Assassin's Street, we've got Jerry Williams, we've got promoters like Nick who are putting on gigs with thousands of people turn up to. So I'd say it's better than it's ever been since I've ever been here. Victorious is class. Like it's nice to put Pompey on the map, and we've got that massive space there on the seafront, and it never really gets used for anything. So to see everyone who are your friends and see people come down to Portsmouth and then to play on the stage as a local band, but being on the bill with people like Noel Gallagher, it's kind of like mind-blowing, and all your friends turn up and all these new people turn up and there's a massive crowd. So for some bands it's like the biggest crowd you might ever play to, especially if you never find a record label. Like a lot of bands struggle to do that, so it's amazing there really. Like we go back every year. We played Icebreaker this year, and I was initially maybe a tiny bit like held back about it because I was hesitant to what the turnout would be like. But actually loads of people turned out to support local music, and not even just people who are friends of the bands, like people who wanted to see new music, and it kind of like it reinforced for me that there is still a need for local music, because it's, you know, music in the charts and music that turns out to be massive all starts from somewhere. So like things like Loco Fest and Icebreaker are like absolutely integral. Not even just for Portsmouth, but events like that are important across the UK really. So we had this idea that there wasn't enough hype on like on the internet. Like it was too hard to find a local band, but then to be able to find their music was difficult. So we wanted to kind of have this idea that we could film people, we could film their gigs and give somebody a product that was affordable to them. It's hard for bands to get time to do video and find the money. Everybody has to work a full-time job, and then a lot of people have got rent to pay, they've got bills to pay, they've got cars they've got to run. So we wanted everybody to be able to do this really affordable film thing that sounded really good as well. So we brought three of us together who had experiences in different fields. Like Josh at the moment was doing filming, and then I sort of did all the audio, and then our friend George dealt with the logistics of booking artists and finding venues, which turned out probably to be the hardest part. And then we just filmed them and gave them this video of the song they did, and we put it all on a channel to try and get a sort of a bit of an image behind ourselves, and it worked out really well actually. Some of the footage I was really happy with.
Live music is definitely booming in Portsmouth due to the hard work of a variety of people from different backgrounds, whether they be on stage, owning the stage, or in charge of filling the stage. With the continuation of this work, Portsmouth will remain a hotbed for music talent, and hopefully we will see plenty more breakaway acts like Jerry Williams and Assassin's Street.